Hello my friends and welcome to Operation Citadel. This is the game made by one person. They sent me an email saying, please play my game, I think you'd like it. It's a turn-based strategy game, like you would find in the yesteryear. And, well, it certainly looks like, an older game. There was a time when these kind of games were incredibly popular. Oh, okay. There was a time when these kind of games were incredibly popular, and I don't think that time is now anymore. But you know, who cares what it looks like if it's fun to play? So this is a pretty typical setup, like Panzer Corps or, well, more like People's General or Panzer General. Okay, WASD is move around and the arrow keys are next unit. Okay, that confused me for a second, for a brief moment. Let's go, boys. Oh, sweet, I can reach from there. Okay, it's got four range. You have to actually highlight over units to see their stats. Well, the stats seem very simple. So I guess this is gonna be more like Advance Wars, even though it looks like Panzer General. Wait, I can hit from there? Huh. Normally you have to place an aircraft over a unit. I was gonna move this other aircraft on top. Huh, you can't attack units under aircraft. You actually attack units to the side. Okay, that's different. The funny part is, I've never played this mission before, but I've played this mission in so many of these kinds of games that the Italian deployment is pretty obvious to me. We know that the Italians got totally victimized by the British because they had nothing that could penetrate the Matilda tanks. They were too heavily armored. 61 armor points. This thing's got no armor. Guess it's a scout car or something. Of course, it took a while because the Matilda is slow. Nice. Okay. Guess we'll move the artillery forward. And whatever that is. Okay, alright. Simple enough. Plus 300 money! Okay, let's buy something. Okay, so you get a limited, like a really limited number of core units that you can take from mission to mission. Now this is all pretty standard stuff for Panzer Corps, Panzer General, People's General like game. You can buy various upgrades. Mechanizing the unit decreases the amount of fuel it has, but increases the armor, anti-infantry capability, and movement. Veteran units a general stats buff. I'm gonna presume that Mountaineers lets you move through mountain terrain without issue, and that you can't mix it with... Oh, you can mix it with a vehicle. Interesting. It's all the standard categories: anti-tank, artillery, anti-air. That's a lot of strange and wonderful vehicles. No doubt dug out from the depths of the British armory. So I think this game is actually going for some level of historical accuracy with the units here, because most of the tanks are lightly armoured, as per British doctrine. Except the Valentine, which is pretty heavily armoured as per British doctrine and moves at 2 miles an hour. And the Matilda, which is ridiculously armoured and also moves at like 2 miles an hour. Although apparently it has a movement of 3. So the Valentine is even slower. Rock you like a hurricane. Bombs? Sweet. Let's buy a hurricane. This is now a core unit. It will cost 100 more money. Okay, total. Do I type a number in there? Nope. Oh. Add to basket. Yeah, we're shopping for destruction today. Well, I actually have two hurricanes. Not two hurricanes. 2 fighters already that have been provided to me. So let's buy the bomber. Right. Unsurprisingly, you can only deploy it at the airport. Come at me, Italian filth. Ouch. Oh, Matilda, you're so slow. Alright, scout cars have got staggered movement, as is part of the course for these kind of games usually. Ha, he actually returned fire there. But not that time. Strafe them with the fighter. I must admit, it's been a while since I saw a hit point system like this. Reminds me of Advance Wars. Smack 'em, lads. 300 money. Just send this silly car in. Oh wow, it actually gets some real damage done here. guess because their morale is crushed. That's maybe what this green-yellow bar is. It can't be their health, because at 33 health he should be dead, and it's always the same kind of length. So I can only presume that it represents morale. No, that the Italians haven't got any ships worthy of talking about. Wow, would you actually do 21 damage back? No. It seems like it displays damage sometimes, even though... like, it shows potential damage based on stats, but actually the interface doesn't acknowledge that this, you know, these guys attacking a ship would be impossible. Unless it was in dock or something. Okay, the next unit thing does not acknowledge whether you've actually moved or not. So there are a few little details that are missing. Do you know, this style reminds me of a mobile phone game sort of graphics. In the early days of mobile phones. I mean, you know, not so early that you're playing Snake on your phone, but the early smartphones used to have games that sort of looked like this. Which is a bit harsh, because the actual, if you zoom right in, the actual look is, the 2D sort of graphics are not, they're not diabolical or anything. They're just not 3D. Oh, the battleship would ruin the tank. Two HP. Resupply HP. Artillery these poor boys to death. Retreat. Retreat is not allowed. Only the cold embrace of death is permitted. So I've got enemy aircraft on top of me. But my aircraft are almost out of ammunition. And there's no airport nearby. The airport is all the way back there. I'm going to presume that I need the airport to refuel and rearm. Okay. Interesting that you can actually move in transport vehicles and still attack. Anti-aircraft guns on its way to the front line. Take the I don't know if this I presume, yeah, Thin Forest offers you 10 extra defense. Okay, fair enough. That, as they say, is a lot of damage. Okay, that fighter is now totally out of ammunition. Sweet. Get in there, boys. So this plane is now out of ammo. So I'm going to have to refuel it. But the nearest airport is up there and it belongs to the enemy. And I only have 18 fuel left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh wow, there's no retreat. I'm going to presume that if your plane runs out of fuel, it's just going to fall out the sky. Which is actually not fair to these kind of planes. These kind of biplanes could pretty much land anywhere. Any kind of strip of road or whatever would be fine for a landing. And they used pretty standard gasoline, so if you really wanted to just land them and refuel them manually, you could. It's the heavier aircraft, like my bomber here, that couldn't realistically do that. They needed a proper airstrip. Oh, Matilda. Oh. Oops. There's no undo button, it would seem, either. My kingdom for an undo button. The British are coming! The British are coming! Okay. Mortar team's range, not enough. Huh, he attacked the anti-aircraft gun. I'm going to presume that the anti-aircraft gun has got the same limitation, i.e. that it has to shoot targets next to it. It can't shoot a target above it, which is weird. I actually find that to be quite odd. So yeah, it can shoot a target next to it, no problem. I actually can't even move into that tile. Unless I shoot first. That is kind of odd. Alright, goodbye Italian fortification. I wonder if I can capture that. So a lot of these games have actually got capture mechanics, right? All you gotta do is surround your victim. Usually. It seems like the units do damage based on how much health they've got. Alright, that fixed its morale too. I'm going to presume that this grey bar means it's got terrible morale. The keys are quite sticky. Well, the selection method is a bit tricky. Yeah, I haven't actually got any ammo, so you got nothing to fear. I'm flying to your airport with all due haste. There's nothing else I could realistically do to save those units from falling out the sky. Which I presume that they fall out the sky and that you can't just land them in any hex and refuel them. Short-range fighters were really the wrong tool for this fight. I think realistically though, if they were running low on fuel, they would just land them on a road somewhere and send the old Bren carrier over with some fuel to fuel them up. These biplanes, very, very light aircraft, do not need, you know, solid tarmac to land or take off. Is he? I can't tell from this menu, but I'm going to presume. I keep looking at the hero screen, and I haven't actually got a hero on any of these. Which just goes to show that there are heroes in this game. I think he's just sitting there because he's out of fuel or something, or he can't calculate a path back to get refueled. Because he's a short-range fighter and he's too far away from home. I see that my bomber is also completely out. And it is also just going to have to sit there until I get that airport. Goodbye. I think that was like an amphibious landing craft or something. Oh! It died. It died way quicker than expected. Did I capture it? Hey! I captured a crappy Italian tank. Sweet. Ha, funny. I can just deploy it straight back where it was. Except now it's mine. Oh, and it also has 1 hit point, no fuel, and no ammunition. It's been robbed! So I guess I'll have to refuel it next turn. More money. Well, considering that you can only keep 5 core units, and I don't know if the figure expands, I guess that they really do just want you to, well, I say they, this game was made by one person. I guess he really expects you to actually just spend. Spend, spend, spend. Which is good, actually, because, you know, worrying about protecting your core units really actually changes the dynamic of these kind of games totally. Sweet. I have to remember that this is my vehicle. It has not received a British paint job. They have not made the effort to remind everybody that it is British. That it's British now. That it's mine, all mine. Oh no, he's on his way back. Yes, if you want to use aircraft, you're going to have to fly them back home on a pretty regular basis. You're going to have to really think about where to put them. Okay. Resupply. It's up to 50 strength. It's going to take several turns to resupply that. Back to operational capability. I resupplied that with HP. It did not resupply the fuel. So I guess I'll have to do that separately. Yeah, resupply fuel, resupply HP. Oh, but resupply HP restored the fuel in this case. It actually showed an arrow pointing to this city, so I presume it's based on how close you are to the nearest resupply tile. 8 out of 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oof. Alright, so just out of interest, just checking the details here. Hovering in place does not seem to reduce fuel, it's still 8 out of 30. So I could make it to the airport. I was wondering if the fuel was declining by 1 every turn. Does not appear to be. So sometimes you need to resupply fuel and ammunition separately, and sometimes you don't. There's evidently some quirks of the rules that I'm not really quite 100% sure of. Is that an anti-tank gun? Or it's a piece of artillery with not enough range to resist me. Yeah, look, it's actually drawing a supply to the nearest city. So I guess that's how it determines how you get supply. Do you know what? This line would actually be really helpful in Panzer Corps 2. Showing you where you're getting your supply from. Oh. No undo button and misclicks. Oh, so frustrating. Well, anyway, we're coming up to half an hour. I don't really think there's much more to say. If you're a fan of these kind of games, and you want something that's a bit more Advance Wars-like, and a little bit less People's General 2-like. If you've ever played People's General 2, but that game was all about stats and unit sizes, and really, really complicated mechanical interactions. And there's obviously some interesting mechanical interactions here, but This game, I think, is going for the more of the Advance Wars approach, which is why you're only allowed a small number of core units which you take between missions. I think the developer mostly wants you to just deploy units and use them disposably, i.e., you know, not worrying about protecting all your units and Jesus, this map is huge. This map is enormous. This is just the first map. Well, there's no turn limit, so I guess you just take your time. But yeah, I think the primary concern is for you to just simply use your regular units for each deployment, and you have a small elite force that you take from mission to mission that you might tip the balance with, or do something a little bit different with. And in a way, that could be pretty good, because the thing about a game where pretty much all the units are core units is you'll always have a generalist army that sort of handles everything, because you need that in your core army. Otherwise, as soon as you encounter, say, a horde of dive bombers and you've got no fighter planes, you're going to be in big trouble. But I suppose in this, they can give you historical or near historical deployments, and you can just change a couple of things to give you an edge. Well, anyway, that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this first impressions video, and I will see you guys next time.